Riffs are too repetitive, the lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides and the cover art's a mess. There's so much here to tear apart. Listen to it for a week, now that week has passed. It's Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Why I Hate This Album. I am, of course, one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey. With me, as always, Geraldo Rivera to my Sally Jesse Raphael, co-host extraordinaire Timothy Richardson. Tim, how the hell are you, buddy?
I am a little disappointed this week, Garrett. I don't know if the interns told you. I bragged to them. I got a note. This is a very mystical looking note saying that I was going to go. How familiar are you with Outworld? Okay, let me just skip to the point. It's a painful story to recount. Somebody here pranked me into thinking that Mortal Kombat was a real thing, and it's not. It's a video game. And I'm disappointed.
Okay.
Was it you?
No, it isn't me. I can tell you that honestly.
Huh.
And here's why. This show is about music.
Yes.
And the very first thing you've decided to talk about is Outworld.
No, I didn't. That's why I skipped it. The very first thing I talked about is how I'm doing, which is the question you asked me, and the answer is disappointed because I was tricked into believing that a video game was reality.
I see. My fault entirely. I asked it. Well done. I mean, Tim, I don't want to open up fresh wounds here, but the fuck are you talking about? Somebody fooled you into thinking Outworld was real?
Yeah, they said that I was one of the chosen people or so. The point is I haven't played Mortal Kombat in a while, and I don't know how much it gets into like the actual plot.
Did you compete in a tournament of death with various other competitors?
Well, no. I waited on the street for my ride for like 8 hours. No one ever came. I came back in.
Huh. Maybe you didn't wait long enough. Well, okay. Fake Mortal Kombat aside, Tim, what song have you been listening to for an entire week straight? First pod of the new year, Gino.
I have been listening to the terrible song Billionaire, released March 9th, 2010 by Travie McCoy and featuring friend of the show, Bruno Mars.
Bruno, hate to see you showing up on an episode, but had to be done. Tim, after an entire week with Travie McCoy and his billionaire aspirations, I have to ask it, it's in the title, do you hate this song?
I do, Garrett. What about you? Did you get there pre-show?
No, not at all.
Ugh.
Tim, I'm fascinated to hear what's got you in such a state. Now, I'm not here to call it a good song, but, well, you know what? I'm going to get ahead of myself, so let's not jump ahead. Before we talk about why Tim is so disgusted both with the song and my reaction to it, we need to understand a little bit of context. So, Tim, I'm curious, prior to this week, what's your history here? Had you ever heard this? Do you know who Travie McCoy is? What did you know anything going into this week?
Yeah, actually, I remember hearing this on television a decade ago, approximately. Possibly, I used to be a real big fan of Jay Leno, so like maybe he performed it on that. I don't know. I remember immediately hating it, but it's been simmering in the back of my mind since then, and this was actually a Tim suggestion this week. This was something I thought, I remember this sucking. I wonder if I was right, and it turns out that I was. Have you, Garrett, ever heard this song before?
No, and when you said it was by Travie McCoy, I was like, God damn it, can you please just you're a grown man, call him Travis. And then when I looked up Travis McCoy and Google said, are you sure you don't mean Travie? I was like, well, God damn it. Maybe I'm the asshole. But no, Travie is the asshole, for sure. I'd never heard of this. Of course, I know who Bruno Mars is. I had never heard this song. I had no frame of reference prior to this week. All of it was new to me. And Tim, I didn't walk away nearly as disgusted as you clearly did. I'm so curious to hear about it. But before we need to understand a little bit about the man himself. So Tim, I'm sure you did the research, collected the dossier. Take us on a journey. Help us understand who is Travie McCoy and how did Billionaire come to be?
Well, Garrett, Travis Lazarus McCoy, a.k.a. Travie McCoy, a.k.a.
Wait,
Lazzy.
His middle name is Lazarus?
It is. A.k.a.
That's pretty cool.
Lazzy, a.k.a. Travie Lazzy, if you prefer, was born in upstate New York in 1981. He has a very Tim-like origin story. As a kid, he was pretty into skateboarding, but he wasn't that great at it, resulting in him being in a wheelchair for 4 months, at which point he decided to pursue more artistic endeavors, which is just like that time that Gart oiled up my rock climbing shoes, in what I now suspect was an effort to make me focus more on podcasting. How is that working out for
we'll
you,
never know.
you monster?
Pretty well.
Oh, God damn it. Also like Tim, Travie, as a boy, was super into rap and hardcore punk, and would take buses to Manhattan to participate in rap battles at some clubs there. He was...
Wait, how is this anything like you?
I think the broken ankle.
Oh, sure, but you said also like a young Tim, and then you said a bunch of things about rap and hardcore punk and going into Manhattan for rap battles. Tim,
I don't. New York.
With me. We did not rap battle. We yelled at a homeless man who tried to steal your pants.
I yelled in a rhythmic way, in my defense.
You know what? You did. I stand correct. It didn't rhyme, but it was rhythmic.
He was also a tattooist's apprentice and gave his 15-year-old friends bad tattoos. I don't know if they were bad because he was not good at giving tattoos or they were bad because they were based on the ideas of 15-year-olds. Either way, I'm sure they were bad.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He learned to play drums and started a rap group with his brother and father, which they called True Life Playas. In an interview, he said, "It was so bad. The tapes exist somewhere, but hopefully they'll never be found." In an obvious attempt to get the interviewer interested in that horseshit, but luckily Mr. Brokaw did not take the bait.
Mr. Brokaw. Tim, I think that's adorable. Making a family band like the fucking Partridge Family, but it's hip-hop. That's fantastic. I'm picturing like a Brady Bunch-esque level of like family values, but in a hip-hop, well, you know, basically any network attempt to capitalize on rap in the early to, we'll just say the 90s.
Any network attempt to capitalize on black people.
Yeah, kind of. Like, I'm picturing like Phil Hartman as the father, like the last person in the world that should be rapping.
Yeah, maybe he adopted all those kids and he wants to get on their level, get interested in their
I like a paper in the morning. Don't bother me till noon. I enjoy my cereal cold and a good sweep of the broom. It's like, what is this? I'm rapping, you see. Got my sons Donnie and Jay, and we like to mow the lawn to make everything okay. What is this? Family hip hop.
It's gold is what it is. In his high school gym class, Travie met Matt McGinley, and they started a hip-hoppery band called Gym Class Heroes around 1997 with some other guys that kind of came and went.
Had you ever heard of this band?
I've heard of them. I don't know that I've ever heard anything by them.
Yeah, I kind of had the same reaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
T. Lassie then went to Munson Williams Proctor Arts Institute in Utica while working at a gas station, teaching art at a Boys and Girls Club, and working at a tattoo parlor as well as selling paintings. He ended up dropping out of school to focus on his tattooing, painting, and music. In 2001, Gym Class Heroes released For the Kids. His first real success, though, maybe was winning a nationwide MC battle on the MTV show Direct Effect. In 2005, they released Paper Cut Chronicles, and then Pete Wentz of Fall Out Boy fame signed them, and they released As Cruel as School Children in 2006, Quilt in 2008, which was produced by the other fallen boy, Patrick Stump. In 2006, he began randomly dating Katy Perry for about 2 years, and in 2007, he announced that he had been addicted to opiates since he was 15, so quite a while.
Ooh, yeah.
In 2008, Trav was performing in St. Louis, and someone allegedly shouted some undisclosed racial slur at him. So Trav brought him up on stage, presumably to berate him in front of an audience, then noticed he was wearing a knee brace, so he hit him in that knee, that injured knee.
Wait, what?
He was thinking on his feet, Garrett. He brought him up there to injure his feelings, but then he saw that he had a physical weakness, so he, I don't know, punched or kicked him in the knee. Anyway, that resulted in a warrant for a third-degree assault.
Seems like it would also result in a civil suit.
In 2010, he was also arrested in Berlin for tagging part of the Berlin Wall, part of that remaining thing.
Oh, wow.
They fined him and let him go, and later he posted his artwork on Instagram.
He tagged a preserved piece of the Berlin Wall.
Yeah, he did. He's a terrible person.
That would be like putting graffiti on a Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton. Like, you're not...
Oh, Garrett.
It's not a wall, you
he's
asshole. It's history. Wait, what?
You know he's a listener.
Listeners, do not go spray paint the skeletons at your local natural history museum. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Does seem fun, though.
Also in 2010, T-Mac started a solo career and moved to Miami to record, as well as to recover from an opiate addiction and to have a more upbeat mood on the album. His original plan for the album was to be more of an acoustic, kind of somber thing, mostly about being addicted to pills and Katy Perry, but, you know, they decided Miami upbeat instead. He released the single of the week, Billionaire, in 2010. A solo album, Lazarus, comes out later that year. The solo career was also when he allegedly first started publicly going by Travie instead of Travis. I guess everyone just called him Travie.
Yeah, it's hard because I want to hate him solely for going by Travie, but you could see him growing up his entire life with his family calling him that, so it's not that crazy, but why would you ask other people to do it?
For the first 15 years of his life, Garrett was known as Garty with an I-E.
That would be insane.
Yeah.
Because how would you get to Gardy? Honestly, Tim, Gardy is better than the first 3 nicknames I had for the first 15 years of my life.
Excellent.
That my father gave me. Oh, no, I'm never sharing them.
Oh, yeah, you are.
This is
Garrett,
literally the only thing I won't share with you.
We will not continue.
That's fine.
Oh.
You've always wondered where it was.
I'm going to get that Leonardo DiCaprio fellow and incept the shit out of these ideas. Tell me.
I mean, all you have to do is call my father. You have the phone number to at least 2 of my family members, if not 4.
Garrett, I have ice cream days with your father.
Well, there you go. He'll happily tell you.
Cool. From there, the T-Mac toured as a solo guy. He did a bunch of collabos with people like Reba McEntire, Adam Levine, Deuce from Hollywood Undead, Jason Mraz, and Gym Class Heroes' Paper Cut Chronicles 2 was released in 2011. Basically, from 2015 to 2021, he didn't really seem like he did anything musically, but in June 2021, he released his first single, A Spoonful of Cinnamon, presumably about that stupid internet challenge where people ate a spoonful of cinnamon. I don't know. I did not care enough to listen, and that is where we are currently.
Wow. Quick, concise, and to the point. I love it. Fascinating that, none of it was. None of it was fascinating.
I don't know. That time he punched an injured man in the knee and then spray painted the Berlin Wall was pretty cool.
That Berlin Wall thing. That should almost be enough for everyone in society to just be like, you know what? No, you fucking idiot. That's not okay.
Or what if it's like really good? What if the first Banksy had been on the Berlin Wall?
Well, to be clear, when it's still a wall, completely okay.
Oh yeah, but, no, I'm saying
sure. Swap Banksy for this dude. Here's my problem. There's only so many of those pieces lying around. It's not like they just got piles and piles of that wall sitting around.
I own one of them.
Oh, okay. Did you get it by legal means?
I mean, it's a rock. It's on the ground. What do you mean? I took it from the wall. That's my point.
Okay.
I mean, my family built that wall. It's technically it is mine.
I was not going to be that specific. I was going to simply say the Richardsons have a very close relationship with the Berlin Wall and leave it there. But
yeah, ironically, it's the American side of my family, not the German side.
That part is confusing, but you had to meet mommy somehow.
Jesus.
What? There's nothing offensive about what I just said.
There is, if you think about it for a minute.
I wasn't implying she was on the wrong side of the wall.
Yeah, no one was.
Then I'm not sure what the problem is.
Let's move on, Garrett, to the song.
All right, to the song itself. Before we can talk about it, we need to give everybody just a tiny taste. Now, we're going to talk about the music video, so obviously you should go out and watch it. But if, I don't know, maybe you're driving or you just don't have time or you just like to not be helpful like Tim, what?
If you're driving, for the most part, don't watch the music video. But if you think, you're on the freeway, for example, so you don't need to... No, I'm saying because there's not like a lot of stoplights, so you don't really need to be watching the road that carefully. You just give it a little watch. It's like 4 minutes. You'll be fine.
Oh my God. Do not do that at all. No watching anything in the car unless you are in the passenger seat or in the back.
Do it.
If you're driving, put down the phone.
Do it.
Tim, please stop challenging our listeners. Don't do the hashtag WIHTA car.
Don't even finish that, for the love of God.
Yeah, pretty irresponsible.
Yeah,
but anyway, unless, you're a big fucking chicken.
Yeah,
we're joking. Don't do that.
What if you got a big car, so it's clear, you're not going to be injured?
That's maybe worse.
Anyway, here's the song.
I want to be on the cover of Forbes magazine.
It's more reggae and ska-y than I remembered it was or would have cared for.
For sure. It is a very light island sound, very similar to that Over the Rainbow cover by Israel Kamako Vivo Ole.
Yeah, and I don't need to hear that.
No. Now, okay, Tim, this is a Tim pick. Self-confessed Tim pick. It is Bruno Mars doing some singing.
Love him.
Which he's very good at. And then you got Travie, and he's rapping.
Like him less,
but I think we can both say, we've listened to a wide variety of rapists at this point. Not the worst by any means.
No, Garrett. They're playing their own music and they're singing their own songs. The problem is that it's ska adjacent at best. This is a really, really, really well-produced Sublime song.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm coming at it from a different angle. It's not great. It's a novelty song, right?
I don't know, though. I don't know that it is.
Okay. It feels like a novelty song. I think maybe the big difference, the reason that I can look past a lot of the issues here is that I'm coming from that over the rainbow angle that even a reggae approach, if not so much the light, what is that there? Ukulele. Although it is ukulele-like, right? It's uke-like.
I mean,
it's a guitar.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's still played in the plinky bum 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 bum, which is, very much reggae as well. But that's where I'm coming from, whereas you're coming from a more sublime direction, which is fair. I'm not discounting that. This is very sublime adjacent, very ska-like even. But I don't know. For whatever reason, it just doesn't offend me the way it does you.
Well, maybe when we get into the lyrics, I can make a better case.
Okay. But let's talk a little bit about the music in general before we get into the lyrics themselves. It's basically Bruno Mars strumming an acoustic guitar and eventually some drums kick in. But it's very low production, right?
Yeah.
Did you happen to listen to the acoustic version?
No, I didn't. I assume this was the acoustic version.
Almost identical. There's no drums. That's the difference.
There's an acoustic version of OAR's That Was a Crazy Game of Poker on some live albums. They do an acoustic and an electric version. The acoustic's the normal one, right?
I don't think that I know what acoustic.
No, you don't.
Well, wait. I don't think you do either. Anyway, so just musically inoffensive. You're fine.
I mean, kind of. It's inoffensive, but it borders enough on this might be ska that I'm a little on edge. I'm already not willing to just give it the benefit of the doubt. You gotta, once I hear this music kick in, I know that for me to not hate this, or for me to like it at least, they have to win me over with the lyrics at least, because the music I'm already very much on the edge with.
Listen, typically my preference is to shout you down and tell you how wrong you are. You're not wrong, Tim. Maybe I just had a good day and you had a bad day. You had a sublime day and I had a Israel Kamako Vivo Ole day. You know?
But I'm so goddamn tired of that shit too.
You know what? I am sick of it. Ooh, Tim, we just had a tick in the other direction. Did you feel that? He's beginning to believe.
Oh, yeah. You're beginning to get there.
Viewers, congratulations. If you noticed a small glitch in the Matrix, that was, in fact, me beginning to get there. And hey, I just want to thank every one of you for being a viewer. Find the feed.
Absolutely. Also, go out and watch the new Matrix movie. If you pause it at just the right time, you'll see Garrett in it.
Yeah, I am there. I'm not going to tell you which scene. I am not credited, of course, but I am there. And I do speak.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But, I mean, you're not mic'd up.
No, I can't be heard. I cannot be heard. Fuck you, Lana Wachowski. That's all I have to say. Here's my behind the scenes. Oh, Keanu Reeves, fucking gentleman and a scholar.
Yeah,
bad
he
like
movie,
sits
though.
around. Oh, bad movie. But he literally does sit around reading literature. It's weird. Anyway, back to Bruno Mars and his little friend Travie. Well, I guess Bruno's always the little friend. These guys.
Whoa, so I'm like your Bruno Mars. You're my Travie McCoy, if you will.
I am your Travie McCoy. Man, go ahead and
let's go back to the beginning. Let's do this over again.
Oh, I don't want to be that on. Honestly, Tim, I think we would all appreciate it if we started over.
Yeah, because then you could start out with the hate and not look stupid.
No. I appreciate us not agreeing all the time. That's what makes this fun. And maybe I'll reverse get you there.
You won't.
You may end up loving this song.
Nah, I'm not going to do that.
We'll see. So, back to the song itself. We've talked about the music. We've talked about the performative abilities of these two gentlemen. Let's take a brief stop on Bruno Mars Island, if you don't mind. Because we haven't, obviously you didn't do Bruno Mars history, and I appreciate that. That's important. Although, folks, if you don't know Bruno Mars history, it's fascinating. That little dude is so fucking talented and grew up in a family band.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll do him at some point, though, because talented or not, he's got some shit.
Oh, yeah. And that'll be tough for us because, well, to be fair, Bieber's last album, he is undeniably talented on a number of those songs, but I hate him. So maybe not so hard. Anyway, let me ask you this. Agnostic of the reggae sound of the music, singing and rapping, just in sound, not in content, any issue?
No.
Okay. That's maybe the nicest thing you can say. But then you add in that jaunty reggae beat and the topic is not great. I guess that's a great transition. Anything else you want to say before we get to the words themselves?
No.
Great. I mean, the song is titled Billionaire, and right up front with the pre-chorus, Bruno Mars hits us with it. He says, I want to be a billionaire. So fucking bad. Buy all the things I never had. I want to be on the cover of Forbes magazine, smiling next to Oprah and the Queen. And we got to stop there.
Yeah.
Because there's already so much.
Weirdly, I listened to this on Amazon Music. That's Amazon Music, the place with the music. So it wasn't censored. He said so fucking bad. I know there is a censored version of this where he says so freaking bad. But in the lyrics that come up whenever you're watching it, it always always said so freaking bad, and it bothered me
Oh,
every
weird.
time. Yeah.
Now I'm very curious to go to other songs with swears and see if they are self-edited as well.
No. Well, some of them I'm sure are, but for the most part, there's some foul language, if you will, on that Amazon.
You know, there is literally no way to describe swearing without sounding like a 9-year-old. It's
Yeah.
really odd.
Yeah.
It's also like, I find drinking a straw to be the easiest way to quickly undercut anything you've just said, no matter how terrifying it is.
I see.
So
I have the exact opposite thing. Imagine your Buffalo Bills, for example.
Why is that always your first example? Go ahead.
Okay, fair enough. Imagine your Francis Dollarhide. Giant man, he's got a mask pulled down to just under his nose, leaving his mouth exposed. Garrett, you're glued to a wheelchair and
Nude.
you smell of gas. Now,
Oh, no.
he looks at you as he's showing you his handiwork and he says, "Do you see?" And then you hear the straw noise. And you turn over and he's got a big gulp and he's drinking it. That's more scary to me.
You will see my message and my becoming. Do you see? Okay, you know what, Tim? You've sold me. It's just, okay, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely
In
right.
most cases, I agree, but I'm just
Okay.
there are some situations where
Where
the
it
casual
becomes
nature
additive.
of a straw is it gets me there.
That's not the end of that sentence, but we'll move on anyway. A couple things about the lyrics I read. I'm sorry. You and I have watched Red Dragon so many times that it is not hard to picture Ray Fiennes sipping a chocolate milkshake in that scene. Anyway, why a billionaire, Tim? Why not a millionaire?
Yeah, I mean, I have some issues with their insistence on this as well. This came at a time when they were literally broke. Bruno
Yeah.
Mars came up with this, and he was living in California for several weeks on $300 when he thought up this chorus. But yeah, I agree. It's a little excessive, and I'm sure we will delve into the ethics of being a billionaire before this show is over. I have some thoughts, but I mean, I completely agree. It seems a little excessive.
Yeah, the only thing I can possibly comprehend is to be a millionaire, that is just to have $1 million in assets, is not what it used to be. That's for sure. I agree. So maybe they would say, well, technically a millionaire has just $1 million in assets. That's nice, but that's middle class in America now. Oof, yikes. We're all doomed. But
Yeah. Oh, and hey, don't worry, Garrett. We will discuss the ethics of being doomed later as well.
fantastic. But the second part of the verse I read, I want to be on the cover of Forbes magazine, smiling next to Oprah and the Queen. At first I was like, odd choices, but actually, Tim, pretty good picks just for the random small talk. Can you imagine, like, the stories that Oprah and then do you think the Queen of England even knows where she is anymore?
No.
She has been 300 years old my whole life.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. I would love to talk to Oprah unfettered. And if you're sitting there doing a Forbes photo shoot, like, that is 2 hours where her handlers can't really jump back in there. So, like, you could pretty much ask Oprah whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, but I think at this point, Oprah is one of those people that's probably just always on. Like, she's been on television for decades and decades.
Yeah, my whole life.
She gave us both Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz.
One of them, honestly, I'm thrilled to have. The other one I wish would die in a fire.
Yes. It's not the way you think. Because,
I don't even want to pretend. It is. Fuck that guy. And he's running for Senate. Anyway, so Tim, I got thinking, if I were to have a photo shoot for the cover of Forbes magazine with a billionaire or two, who are the billionaires I would like the opportunity to sit down with, or, however they want to position us, but who would I want unfettered access to for a couple of hours? And so I did some digging. First up, obvious billionaire, Howard Hughes. What a fun guy to hang out with, right?
oh, that's a great one.
Sure. Then I thought of a woman that you're not going to be familiar with by name, Tim, but I'm sure you've seen a picture. Her name is Jocelyn Wildstein. Now, she earned her money by banging an old man who died. Oh, no, who didn't die. By banging an old man and then divorcing him and getting half of his $1 billion.
Well, so she's not really a billionaire.
No, sorry, half of his billions.
Oh, okay.
But what's fun about Miss Jocelyn Wildstein, aside from her very obvious ploy, is that this is the woman that has spent upwards of $4 million to have plastic surgery to look like a cat.
Yeah, and she does too.
She does. She looks like a puffy cat.
She looks like a cat with really bad allergies.
Yes, so she'd be fun to hang out with. Then I stumbled across Mr. Angvar Kamprad. He is the founder of IKEA. According to research, this man only buys used clothes when the ones that he's wearing are literally about to rot off, and steals salt and pepper when he goes out to eat in order to save money.
Is that how he became a billionaire, is through not spending money on salt? Because I mean, I don't think I spend that much money on salt.
No, you don't. And no, he's the founder of fucking IKEA.
Oh, right.
That's how he made his money. He's just making more money by stealing condiments from restaurants. What a psychopath. And then, I got a couple more for you. My next one, Tim, you're also familiar with, but not by name. Billionaire Clive Palmer of Australia.
Oh, I know this guy. This is the Titanic man, right?
Yes. He's a coal magnate, dinosaur and Titanic enthusiast. He first spent millions of dollars recreating Jurassic Park, calling it Palmer Park. But instead of having genetically designed animals, it was just, animatronics that roared. It was a miserable failure. Not being deterred by bad ideas, he then came up with a surefire plan to make money known as Titanic 2. That is an exact replica of the sunken Titanic.
Now, when you say an exact replica, it's not an exact replica of the current state of the Titanic.
No. It would be a new Titanic, the original version of the Titanic, sans water and age. It was set to launch in 2018. Unfortunately, to date, no one has seen any progress on Titanic 2. But Tim, the last billionaire that I would like to hang out with just to ask him some questions, that role goes to Mr. Robert Clark Graham. He's the inventor of the shatterproof lenses for glasses, but more interestingly, in the 70s, Graham established the, quote, repository... This is too much. The Repository for Germinal Choice. You ever heard of this?
Is this going to delve into...
eugenics?
Yeah.
You bet it is, friend. Completely legal eugenics, Tim. They are still a thing. But for, 23 years, he ran the Repository for Germinal Choice, which was a sperm bank consisting only of Nobel winners.
Now, so here's the thing. They're not the most healthy group of people.
True.
Because you typically don't win one when you're young. You win one for something you did when you're young, but once you're old and it has been proven valuable or relevant.
So, Tim, you would have been useful in the pitch meeting because they very quickly realized the sperm of 70-year-old men is not great sperm. So they decided to open it up a couple years later to just very, very smart people. And it was, it wasn't successful. It managed to stay open and foster, what's the right word? Produce at least 217 children.
I think, I was going to say inseminate, but you're talking about the children, so that doesn't work.
Right. Grammar. 217 children of which have been tracked are apparently incredibly smart. So it kind of worked, but also ew.
Yeah, see, this seems like one of those times that the freezer went bad and so he refilled it all himself and he just didn't tell anyone.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I mean, if you're starting the Repository for Germinal Choice, you're not far off from fathering 217 children on your own. I mean, that's one load, Tim.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a lot of hard work. Or, listen. Never mind. That was about to be incredibly after dark. Song continues.
Well, hold on.
Oh, okay.
We discussed dwarf tossing a fair amount on this show.
Not in a while, but yes.
There is a Saudi billionaire, Prince, who loves dwarves and has them as court jesters and pays them to dance and sing and also throws them sometimes.
Like full time? Are they always there?
I don't know.
Because listen, at least one of the people on this podcast has rented dwarves. And I'm not comfortable with the term.
Once put a bunch of $100 bills into a fire and made the dwarves pull them out.
Maybe not made. Allowed?
Well, that's how they got paid.
I'm not sure. Oh, that guy's a bastard. Also, I am not sure how comfortable I am with dwarf. I think the correct term is little person. I know it sounds wrong, but I think that's what they like.
Dwarf is okay. I think it's midget is the one they don't like.
I know nobody likes that one. That one, you know what? You're probably right. Anyway, interesting. Yeah, that guy's a monster, and I would not want to have my photo taken with him.
Well, I don't know. What if he was wearing a knee brace and you were near him? You punch that guy right in the knee.
Tim, if that guy can purchase little people and then make them dance in a fire, he can 100% Khashoggi you.
He might have Khashoggi'd Khashoggi.
Right. He might be the OG Khashoggi.
Oh, what a poor man.
Yeah, no, that poor man.
Anyway,
Poor man.
the interesting thing about the song here is that the chorus and the verses diverge, right? The chorus is far more honest. It's, you better prepare. I'm going to buy all the things I never had. This is for me. Every time I close my eyes, I see my name in shiny lights. Yeah, a different city every night. I swear the world better prepare for when I'm a billionaire. So he's going to go apeshit. The choruses are about what he would actually do probably with this money. And the verses then become about being like nice to people with that money. And it seems like they started writing a song about being an awesome billionaire who injures dwarves and then pays them not to be mad at him. Mm-hmm. But then the verses, they're trying to convince a rich relative to leave them money, saying like, no, we'd use it responsibly and help out other people. Like, you can trust me with that $1 billion. I definitely won't OD on opiates and blowjobs and dwarves within the first week.
Did you hear about Tim? No. Died of opiates and blowjobs.
And dwarves.
Tim.
Took 9 dwarves with him.
At the same time? Anyway, are those 3 related? No. Anyway, I think we got a Lennon McCartney situation here, Tim. Because, yes, what you're pointing out is accurate. The chorus or choruses or even chorus sigh are mostly literal, right? I'm going to be on the cover of Forbes. I'm going to be on tour every night. I want to see my name in the stars. It's more about the glamour of fame, the glamour of being famous. Whereas, as we're about to read, the verses are much more earnest and about how they would use the money responsibly. But I think it's one of these classic deals where they were brainstorming on the phone there, maybe having a quick Zoom call, as you and I do from time to time when we don't want to see each other or having a fight but have to work out things for the show. And they said, hey, let's do a song about like when we're rich. And Bruno was like, cool. Yeah, he's going to be fucking rad. And then Travie was like, cool. I'm going to be such a nice guy.
Yeah, I assume we're going to have a very similar thing at the end of this episode.
Interesting. The song continues. Travie's first line, yeah, I would have a show like Oprah. I would be the host of Everyday Christmas. Give Travie a wish list. I'd probably pull an Angelina and Brad Pitt and adopt a bunch of babies that ain't never had shit. And pause. Second call out to Oprah in 4 lines,
yeah. which
is what makes me think it's a Lennon McCartney. They both got back. He was like, dude, I have the best chorus. He was like, check out my first verse. Hey, we both talk about Oprah. Yep. One of us should probably change it. Yep. One of us should. Anywho, it seems like they both wrote their parts separate of the other person and came in and were like, well, I guess this is the song.
Yeah, that's fair. That's the thing, though. Once you get those 2 diametrically opposed ideas, you gotta join them better than this.
Apparently you don't. Now, when he says I'll probably pull an Angelina and Brad Pitt, adopt a bunch of babies that ain't never had shit. On the surface, completely fine, right? If you want to adopt orphans, far be it from me to stand in your way. But I'm curious, Tim, we've never discussed this. I always thought it was odd that they were like, U.S. orphans just have it too good. I need to go to Ethiopia, Vietnam, or Cambodia. That's where the good orphans are.
As somebody that has looked into this heavily, we'll just do this.
I don't want to.
We'll just do this. We'll move to Vermont. It'll be awesome. The point is, U.S. babies, there's a lot of regulations around that. You can go to other countries. A lot of red tape around those babies. Yeah, you can go to other countries and they'll just give you children.
They're practically giving them away.
Yeah, very few questions asked. If say, a youngish 30s guy and a much older gentleman went to one of these countries, they'd give you a baby. It doesn't matter. The point, Garrett, is it's not like, oh, we went to an Ethiopian or South African orphanage and adopted 3 siblings or something. They went and got like 1 from each. It's very much not about the kids.
Yeah, look how I don't even know what we are.
Diverse.
Look how something we are.
Diverse.
Well, diverse. There it is. Allow me to say for myself and on behalf of the listeners, yikes. Everything to everything you just said.
About the
about the loose regulations, the lack of red tape.
This is probably
all right. Song continues. Give away a few Mercedes, like, here, lady, have this. And last but not least, grant somebody their last wish. Pause. Sorry.
Sinister.
Yeah, sorry. Sounds like he's going to hunt a man, and in exchange for that hunt, that man will be granted 1 wish.
Yeah, you get the best last day of your life. Really, when? Tomorrow. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Or hey, your family's going to be taken care of going forward. straightforward. I just am going to need to hunt you.
Yeah. It makes throwing dwarves not sound that bad. Making them reach into fire is still pretty bad, though.
Yeah, that one. Here's your money. Oops.
Stop burning dwarves. It's not funny. I mean, it's a little funny.
It's a little funny. Okay. It's been a couple months that I've been single, so you can call me Travie Claus minus the ho-ho. Get it?
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't like that. I do not.
I don't get it.
He's saying he's Travie Claus, he's handing out things, but he's not ho-hoing because he's single.
I see.
It's a play
He's
on
not
words.
a hoe. Right. Well, I knew it was a play on words, but it's a shitty one. But song continues. I'd probably visit where Katrina hit and damn sure do a lot more than FEMA did. Yeah, can't forget about me, stupid. Everywhere I go, I'ma have my own theme music.
Now, I like the theme music idea.
Sure.
As long as you gotta have like a full band, like a brass band or
like
strings.
An orchestra.
Yeah, they have to come with you everywhere. But here's the issue. I'd probably visit where Katrina hit and damn sure do a lot more than FEMA did. I get the idea that they do not understand what $1 billion is because I looked this up and you know how much money it would take to meaningfully help New Orleans post-Katrina? Like the recovery effort post-Katrina was approximately $120 billion in federal funds according to the HUD website. So despite the fact that FEMA definitely fucked that up, sure, your billions is not going to do more than fucking FEMA did.
Well, see, what he's going to do, Tim, is he's not going to wait for Katrina. He's going to use his billion to set up the Travie Emergency Response Division.
Why don't maybe start building up that seawall?
Yeah, honestly, just build a goddamn seawall. You know what? Sometimes the ocean rises and floods our whole city. What do you think we ought to do? I don't know. Move. So, going back to the line, everywhere I go, I'm going to have my own theme music. I got thinking, obviously, the first thought, just where you went, full orchestra. But what if you could only have one theme song? I, of course, chose, something it's got to encapsulate the person, and it's hard for every occasion with a single song. Of course, for myself, I picked the Pixies, Where's My Mind? But for you, Tim, I think I really nailed it. For you, I have picked Honkin' Down the Highway by the Beach Boys.
Oh, I love it. I was going to go with the 89 Batman theme.
Dude, that's so cool. Every time you come into a room, but you can control the volume, so you're just having a very casual conversation at a Schlotsky's while you hear.
Oh, yeah, and the great thing is you could turn it up when you want to end the conversation.
For a dramatic exit?
No, not even that. You just stare the person in the eyes and it just gets louder and louder. Can't fucking hear.
Great pick, Tim. Great pick. All right. Then we get to the second verse. It's Travie again. He says, I'd be playing basketball with the president, dunking on his delegates. Then I compliment him on his political etiquette. Toss a couple million in the air just for the heck of it, but keep the 5s, 20s, 10s, and bends completely separate. And yeah, I'll be in a whole new tax bracket. We in recession, but let me take a crack at it.
Again, they don't seem to understand scale.
No. But first line out the gate, Tim. I'd be playing basketball with the president. Very prescient in 2010. Obama out there, sinking buckets, looking like a rock star, youngest president in a long time, and looking like it. Then I got thinking, and I don't want to be mean, but what the fuck? What activity do you do with Joe Biden? I like to sit here and listen to the wind.
Interesting. Maybe he's
Sometimes I go to the patio and I get outraged at squirrels.
Maybe they do like a jet ski thing. And he really likes jet skis, but
so dangerous.
We can't. Well, right. That's why they get one of those pools like they have for where you can swim in place, and he just sits on it, and then
he's tethered.
Yeah,
it's just a wave pool. Could you imagine, you're in a quiet room with the president? Now, Joe Biden's kind of a joke, always has been. But dead silent. You're just trying to be respectful, and he leans over. Hey, man, you ever been on a Sea-Doo? What?
Well, see, I can imagine him saying this if there was no Sea-Doo to be had. He's just curious as to whether or not you've ever ridden a Sea-Doo.
It goes nowhere. That's the start and finish of the conversation. Dude, I met the president. What'd you guys talk about? Sea-Doos. It went nowhere. I said yes, and he said cool. Oh, even weirder. You say yes, and he goes, yeah, Sea-Doo. All right.
Or if he says, I've always wanted to, never had the chance.
Yeah, that's even weirder, right? Sir, you're a millionaire. And the president. Folks, I want to see it. Photoshop artists, listeners, I know you're out there. I want to see Joe Biden on a Sea-Doo. Anyway, we didn't address this. I'm curious, Tim. So he says, toss a couple million in the air just for the heck of it. 2 questions. 1, I started to think of a scenario or a setting in which you could have $2 million cash, toss it in the air, air and nobody reacts. First one I thought of, country club. You've been in a country club before, right, Tim? Never a member, of course, but you've been in one.
Well, no, I despise those people, and they will be the first to fall. Oh, no, sorry, I have been in them.
Sure. If you were to toss literally in the middle of like the dining area of a country club and say, there's $2 million, you guys can have it, and you threw it in the air, do you think anyone would move?
Yes.
I don't. I used to be a waiter at a country club. I think those money-grubbing psychopaths would all look at each other and be like, I don't need money that bad.
Yeah, but they're all super greedy, though.
Yeah, that's true. It turns into a goddamn Hunger Games.
Ooh.
In the middle of the country club.
Oh, we should do that. And then the last person standing, we take the money away from him.
Yeah, we just shoot in the face.
No, he gets to survive because he killed all his friends.
Oh, yeah, but then he gets no money.
Yeah.
And goes to jail. There never was any money. It was fake. Okay, so you've deflated my balloon ever so slightly. What about the Grammys?
The problem is there's a lot of it's not all rich famous people.
There.
Yeah, there's a lot of not rich people there.
Well, sure, but let's say you're on the red carpet of the Grammys and you toss $2 million cash on the ground. Does anybody walking the red carpet take it?
Take all of it? So you toss in and it's I know how you keep your money.
Loose.
It's all saran wrapped up.
Sure. But not in this case.
Okay. So yeah, you keep it in the freezer.
Don't tell anybody about my money bricks.
They're not as heavy as they once were, Garrett.
Sure, but they are still secret.
Not to me.
Sure, but people that wrap their money into bricks and put it in the wall aren't looking to talk about it. Anyway, okay, song continues. I'll probably take whatever's left and just split it up so everybody that I love can have a couple bucks and not a single tummy around me would know what hungry was. Eating good, sleeping soundly. Let's see. I know we all have a similar dream. Go in your pocket, pull out your wallet, and put it in the air and sing. And then the chorus. Again, couple things. This is the part, Tim, where they really sell it. Hey, if I had $1 billion, I'd really just look out for my friends and family. Mm-hmm. If you had $1 billion, Tim, how much you giving me?
Do you know how much money I have?
Not the exact number, but I know it's more than you could possibly need.
Okay, if you know it's $1 billion, I'm going to shoot insultingly low. I'm going to shoot $100,000 just because I want you to know I could give you more and I've chosen not to.
That's crazy. What was the number?
$100,000.
That is outrageous.
That's good money, Garrett.
That's the problem. That is a great gift. If somebody wanted to give me $100,000 right now, I'd take it. But
now let me ask you this:
you have $1 billion.
Do I have access to a fire? Because I'll give you that whole $1 billion, but you're going to have to reach in for every bill.
For every bill. What's the largest denomination you can get?
Oh,
$100?
Yeah.
No, there's got to be. Are there 500s printed somewhere?
No, I don't think so. I know there was but
yeah, numismatists out there, or is that just coins? I don't know what a money enthusiast is.
I don't know.
I mean, that's pretty much the song. Tim, did we leave anything out?
No, it just kind of goes on and on with the chorus. So, other question though: if you had $1 billion, what are you going to do with it?
What are the interesting things I would do with my money? I would have giraffe jousting.
Well, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just people riding on giraffes. It's not giraffes jousting with their necks.
Right. And I don't want to harm the giraffes. They're going to get hurt, but I don't want to harm them.
So injured. It's going to be like that
it's a classic
HBO
joust.
show Luck.
Oh, God. I never watched it just because
it was a horse holocaust.
It was a horse holocaust. Yeah, so there's one move. Second is my own demolition derby.
Yeah, I like that.
Now, you said no buying cars, but I'm going to tell you anyway because I've always found it very funny to buy people cars that they don't want.
Oh, that is good.
So here's a brand new Chevy HHR.
I don't know what that is. Minivan?
That's like the weird, God, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a box. It sucks.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, I'd take it. My paint fell off my car and it makes a high-pitched whirring noise and it smells like an electrical fire anytime it's on. So,
That's because you're smelling an electrical fire.
Exactly.
In your car.
Right.
Get a new car. Not an HHR. But yeah, here's a new Dodge Dart. Thanks, I guess.
I'd like to get everyone. What's the car from Breaking Bad? Aztec.
Oh, the Chrysler 200?
No, the Pontiac Aztec, man. The one that has that you can't not have a tent fold out if you open the back of it for some reason.
Sucks. Yeah, you get the game. So that's always been a fun one. What else would I do with my money that people might find slightly unusual? I'd probably have my own, and I'm not even much of a skier, but I'd probably have my own ski mountain because why not? It's something you don't hear about, right?
You're spending it like a Saudi prince at this point. You may as well get those dwarves.
None of it's cruel though, Tim. I'm not burning anybody yet.
I mean, you're going to be burning some people.
I'd probably set up a pretty massive lobbying arm that would then slowly but surely chip away at the U.S. government until it was largely just doing exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, Lacostiering, yeah.
Sure. But, on a way different level, unlike anything you've ever seen.
Again, though, for $1 billion, that's not enough money to do that.
God, you're right.
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't know. What do you got, Tim? You got any fun billionaire ideas?
I only have one, because I would keep my life exactly the same as it is now in every single conceivable way, with one exception.
Smaller world headquarters.
No. I never want to set foot on a non-trampoline surface again.
Oh my God, what a great
everywhere.
idea. How do you make that happen?
I don't have $1 billion. I'm sure there's somebody that'll figure it out for me.
Fascinating. You almost need like a tramp on wheels.
Maybe. Maybe I've got like a group of dwarves that like pick up as a trampoline that I've just gotten off of and run it around to where I'm about to be.
Interesting. I'm thinking more of like a Segway.
Yeah.
And your manual labor dwarf abuse is
I'm not sure how.
This episode.
I'm not sure exactly how it's going to be done. The point is, I never want to not be on a trampoline.
Do you think I could build a satisfying robot pal for under $1 billion?
Yes, I'd be satisfied.
That's not what I meant. Not one for satisfying. God damn it.
I mean,
Gino, mark the time.
You'd use it for that though, right?
No.
Maybe. I mean,
God damn it. I mean, sex robot.
I would though. We should say though, I think both of us are against the idea of there being anybody with $1 billion, right? Like just conceptually, $1 billion.
I mean, there's so many people with so many $1 billion.
I know. Well, here's the thing. I would like to propose, because one day you're going to be Lacostier and you're going to be in charge of these decisions. So I would like to propose a scenario where if somebody becomes a billionaire, we give them exactly 1 year to get that down to $70 million. And they get to keep all that $70 million. But $930 million has to be, invested back into the community or whatever. And we will hail them as heroes. They've given back. And 93%.
That's quite a percentage.
$70 million is so much money, Garrett. So much.
I know.
So much.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
How about this? Which I got to tell you, immediately, I can tell that you have no money because this plan is ridiculous. But,
it's going to get worse.
Okay.
Because there's consequences.
Oh my God. Here comes that Hunger Games thing again. How about this, Tim? If they go with your plan, they give the $930 million back into the community, and not like into the community bullshit, like literally back into the community. Any future earnings, tax-free.
As long as they never get above $70 million. No.
Wait, what?
No. I mean, again,
no, because then it incentivizes people to hit the $1 billion, cash out, and then do even more tax-free. So you're going to do more good by baiting people to hit the $1 billion the first time so they can go back around tax-free. And it's not like billionaires are paying taxes right now anyway.
That's true.
You got to sweeten that pot. Right now, it's all stick. Where's that carrot?
Well, here's the other stick, Garrett. If they fail to hit that 70 million mark by the year, I propose that as a society, we take all of their money, redistribute it, and then, Garrett, we use the $70 million that they could have kept for that face-off technology, and we switch their face with the face of a pig because they're disgusting pig people.
Wow. I love that I asked for the carrot and you gave me a second stick, a bigger stick, a pig face
and maybe
stick.
After years of pigmen, we eat them or something. I don't know, because I assume that graft isn't going to hold well.
No, it's going to die with a horrible infection weeks later.
Yeah, I feel like we should have.
Or we have a bunch of faceless, wretched people walking around.
Well, again, though, that will be their scarlet letter, their rotting pig face.
Here's the problem with your plan. I do have a fundamental resistance to punishing people for doing a good job. And that seems wrong.
Garrett, if somebody is hoarding $1 billion, they're a disgusting pig person and they deserve to have their face replaced with that of a literal pig until it rots off for 1 year. What if you earn it? So what? Why are you keeping $1 billion? What are you doing with $1 billion? Why are you keeping $1 billion?
Space laser?
Pig face.
All right, agree to disagree.
Yeah. And I know you're going to say this is hypocritical since I would do the all tramps all the time thing. And no, it's not, because I would not let anyone else on my billionaire's trampoline and I could just simply bounce leisurely away from the angry mob.
You're a bastard. Okay, so Tim, that brings us to the music video. Nothing too exciting. I thought maybe I would just take us on the standard WIHTA walkthrough and you can pause me as need be for extra detail.
Sure.
All right. Well, of course we open with Mr. Mars sitting in a lifeguard tower looking out at sunset while strumming his guitar and of course wearing that signature Bruno Mars hat.
Yeah, and he looks great. This is where he was born to sit.
Agreed. Then we begin to cut between a bunch of people hustling. They are are selling CDs on the boardwalk. They're hitchhiking. They're spraying graffiti.
Yeah,
all the things necessary
because,
to be successful.
Yeah, most of those things are like petty crimes around LA. One of those is like a potentially very tragic story.
Sure. Yeah, technically everything that I just listed is not legal. You are not allowed to sell things without a license. You are not allowed to hitchhike, and you definitely are not allowed to spray graffiti.
I don't know if hitchhiking's illegal, but it is going to end in you in some sort of weird scientific experiment with some deranged man and his pig swapping faces or something.
Don't pretend like you don't know. You're clearly talking about you. And yes, it is illegal. It's one of those it's for your own good laws. Yeah. So then we cut to Travie. And Travie is sitting in a skate park watching some children skate.
As you do.
Sure. And you cut between the two of them. And this is adorable. So for context, and maybe this is part of the reason that I just can't quite hate it, is that these are two guys that are scrappy. Obviously, at this point, I think Travie's much further along in his career, but neither of them have necessarily made it. Certainly not Bruno Mars. So they cut to Travie and Bruno driving down the street in a Mini. Mm-hmm. And it is the weakest flex on the planet, but adorable. One, because it's just the last car on the planet you expect to see in a music video. And two, I do believe it was all done to make Bruno Mars look like an adult-sized man.
Oh, yeah.
Smaller car, bigger man.
That just makes Travie look like a giant because, you know, if his head is turned all the way to the right and his neck is pressed against the roof of the car. And
it's a convertible, though.
Bruno, well, yeah, that's true. I guess they never pan down to show that Bruno's feet don't touch the ground. He's just wagging them back and forth.
It's forced perspective, Tim. Bruno's seat is all the way forward, Travie all the way back.
Fair.
Same size. Then we cut to Travie giving a new skateboard to a stranger. Very nice. This, of course, coincides with the portions of the song in which he talks about how altruistic he'll be. Mm-hmm. Bruno has the guitar. They sit down on the edge of the bowl while people drop in and watching them skate. They're, in my opinion, sitting awkwardly close to one another. I'm sure it's just for the shot, but it's weird.
I'm a fan.
And okay, now Tim, you commented on Bruno's look. Let me address Travie's. He is dressed like an Abercrombie sleepwear mannequin come to life. It's just various degrees of gray linen.
Yeah.
He looks like he just left the Matrix. Loose knit.
Oh, yeah, but he's far less itchy. He's dressed in far less itchy clothes. Why are we talking about the Matrix so much? Should we just do an episode on the Matrix?
I mean, yes.
Okay. Next
the
week.
Original, though.
Oh, no.
Well, because it ends with... God, does it end with Dragula?
No, it ends with Rage Against the Machine's Wake Up. Dragula's in it, though.
Dragula might open the orgy scene.
No, it's in the dance club.
That's what I'm calling the orgy scene.
Well, no, that's in the second movie is the orgy scene, Garrett. Or possibly
the orgy of Zion.
Yeah, in the first one, they just go to
I hate this movie.
there's Dragula, there's some Prodigy, there's some DJing.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. So he's dressed as some sort of mannequin or mannequin 2,
sorry about that. Mannequin on the move. Then, as if the Mini wasn't adorable enough, then they get on mopeds. And again, look, this is a shoestring. Yeah, small vehicles, shoestring budget. They're rolling around presumably Los Angeles. And Tim, we're a mom and pop shop. People don't realize, granted, we have several unpaid interns and a producer that seems to be acting actively against us. But, we do a lot of this on our own. Shoestring budget. We could certainly use $1 billion. So I appreciate them making what looks to be a professional music video, probably with a little bit of spit and gum just to hold things together. But couple of things. When we get done with the moped scramble, I don't even know what to call it.
Is Pete Wentz in that scene?
I believe so. Or a Pete Wentz lookalike.
I believe it is Pete Wentz.
Then Travie gives the Mini to the hitchhiker we saw earlier, who does not question it at all, just jumps in the car and drives away, as you should. When a stranger walks up to you and says, "Want my car, no strings attached?"
Yeah.
Always say yes.
Same thing if a stranger walks up to you and says, "Want my burrito, no strings attached?" You take that burrito.
What if they've taken a bite of that burrito?
It's actually better if they have taken a bite, because then it's all good. That burrito's not filled with homeless man poop.
I thought you were going to say poison.
I mean, that's a type of poison.
Sure, absolutely. So somebody sat down, filled a tortilla with homeless man poop, and then
it's a homeless man that's giving it to you.
Okay, I'm disgusted. I've got mouth sweats. I hate you. This is disgusting. You've been a real peach this episode.
My point is, if somebody gives you a burrito, you take that burrito, and if they've taken a bite out of it, there's no poop in there.
Oh, God.
This is good advice.
It's not bad advice. Then we cut back to Bruno and Travie hanging out at the skate park again. And I want to point out, nobody's going to go and notice this, but around the fourth time I watched this music video, I saw one girl skateboard who the entire time never drops in. She just poses aggressively at the camera. She's just to the left of them. And she looks like she's at the end of a runway. And it is hilarious.
Well, she's smart, though. She knows that that's the way to get noticed. You got to be like kind of still. If you're moving around, people aren't going to be able to see the face. They're not going to be able to recognize you later.
Yeah, check out those goods. Then, after they get done at the skate park, the two stumble onto a kegger that has run out of beer. They bring a couple of cases of beer, but in exchange, the entire party must listen to their song and pretend to enjoy it.
Not worth it.
Not worth it. Then he brings a little bit of spray paint to our graffiti artist, and I think that wraps it up.
Yeah, at this point, they're just facilitating crimes. But this is basically just a shitty beer commercial, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Tim, how'd this thing do?
Well, Garrett, this is certified quadruple platinum.
It's not the first thing.
In the U.S. with well over 5 million copies sold worldwide. What? It hit number 4 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. It was a number 1 single on the Israeli Media Forest chart and number 1 on one of the Dutch. On the other, it was number 4. Otherwise, it was a number 5 song in Australia, number 11 on the E3 Austria Top 40, number 93 in Brazil, number 12 in Canada, number 24 on the Czech Radio Top 100, number 8 on the Denmarkian track listing, number 16 in the proud and noble country of Germany, number 5 in Hungary, number 2 in Ireland, number 47 in Mexico, number 2 in New Zealand, number 11 on the Norwegian VG lista, number 2 in Poland, number 8 in Portugal, number 8 in Romania, number 17 on the Swedish Sverige top listen, number 14 on the Schweizer hit parade, and number 3 with our good friends over in the UK, Special Relationship. So well is the point.
What about the Dutch?
I told you the Dutch up front. Number 1 on one of the Dutch, number 4 on the other.
No.
I gave you 2 Dutches.
Usually end with the Dutch. That was way too many, and I hated that. Thank you. What did people think of it?
Well, there are 17 total Amazon ratings, 4.6 out of 5 stars on average, 71% 5-star, 0% 1-star. Brandon S. said, still a pretty good song from 2016. Very catchy song, but gets old after a while. 4 out of 5 stars.
Why bother? It's all right.
On YouTube, Tommy won 1 month ago. 2010, I want to be a billionaire. 2012, I want to be a president. 2015, I want to be a teen. 2018, I want to be a veteran. 2021, I want to be a kid.
Well, again, sorry, I know the point of this is for you to read something and me to react, but I don't know what you just read.
I believe it's a list of things he wanted to be in these various years. And so in 2020, he wanted to be a billionaire. Then 2012, president. 2015, teen. 2018, he wanted to be a veteran. 2021, wanted to be a kid.
I hope there's a watch list for people that publicly express wanting to be a teen.
Yeah, that's probably smart.
Unless you're younger than a teen.
Sure,
then it's completely fine. If 12 and under, I wish I was a teenager, absolutely. 20 and older, fucking creepball.
Yep.
Great reviews, Tim. Who's this for?
I mean, this is for foreigners.
I was going to say, and we didn't say anything like this the whole episode, I was going to say this is almost for 2001.
Yeah, a nation. It's to heal a nation.
Yep. A reminder of what America stood for.
Yes, and what it could be again. I think this might be for billionaires, so that they know, because one thing that billionaires really like is to know that other people envy them, and trampolines. But most importantly, they want to know that people envy them. So you have a song about how you want to be a billionaire,
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah.
Just picturing Bill Gates driving around in his dumb Prius, just cranking the shit out of this. I love this song.
What if you got people, if you had $1 billion, if you bought people Priuses, but you had all the insides switched out for like a real old dirty diesel engine?
Why?
It's funny.
It is funny. I mean, people do that with like street racing cars. They'll put giant engines in a Honda Odyssey.
Sure. But I mean, like, I want this to be a Prius that's just belching black smoke out the back of it.
A somehow fish-killing Prius. 4 octopi died to make this car.
Oh, yeah. They're ground up and put in the paint.
Do you like my new Prius? It runs exclusively on whale oil and ambergris. Very difficult to find. Tremendously expensive. Have to kill 4 whales just to get to work.
Well, you're not going to work if you've got whale killing money.
That's true. You're probably constantly just seeking whales. Oh, good stuff. All right, Tim, we've been all the way through it, and I feel like we've had a lot of fun. You've maybe even turned a corner or two, so I'm going to ask it. Any final thoughts before we ask the big question?
No.
Of course not. So, Tim, now that we've addressed the issues, and I feel like you've probably come to your senses, do you hate this song?
Garrett, the one thing that we strive for above anything else on this show is honesty, right?
Honesty, yep.
If you can't...
Number 2, respect for women.
Right. Number 3...
Stop, drop, and roll.
Stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll. Garrett, I don't hate this. We had a fun time today, Garrett. We
did.
This song, here's the thing. This song is ska. It's got what I believe to be a bad message. It doesn't mention the pig thing at all. The music video includes Pete Wentz. The man spray painted the Berlin Wall and punched a admittedly probably racist man in his bad knee. And as somebody who, anyway,
has weak joints.
Yeah, the point is, Garrett, when I think about this song, when I listen to this song in the future, because I know you're going to play this in the car, and I already got the single on vinyl, I'm going to think of this episode. And Garrett, I had a good time learning about the horrific excesses of billionaires and why we should, in fact, not feel bad about surgically grafting pig faces to their face, or where their face once was. So no, I don't hate it. Still really do not like this, and think it's probably one of Bruno Mars's worst works. What about you, friend?
No,
wanted to switch. I wanted to switch us.
I do love a good switch, but no, I mad it to begin with. And while there was a brief moment there where we got one tick closer to midnight in the doomsday clock of hate, I just didn't quite get there. Got to the cusp a couple times, but hey, Tim, you and I, we are hate aficionados. We are perhaps sommeliers of hate, certainly of music, or at least of shitty music. And this just doesn't reach near the level of hate that other songs do.
Yeah, I think it is to be hated, but I do not hate it. How about that?
Okay, I can deal with that. That brings us to listener mail. Tim, you want to go first or you want me to?
Oh, I definitely want to go first, Garrett.
Alrighty.
In lieu of listener mail, I have a Instagram thing from Cam Hubbard. Now, a little bit of backstory here. Cam was vying for that all-impressive most minutes listened to thing.
Oh, no.
And
I know what this is going to be. Tim, I don't... Oh, okay, hold on. I know what you're going to say, and I'm not going to cut you off, but I just want to say, I saw what you agreed to.
I thought my wager was safe.
Okay, go ahead. I don't want to ruin a thing, but boy, we might be about to have a fist fight. Go ahead.
Well, Mr. Cam, he listened to quite a few minutes, but it was not nearly the 87,000 minutes that we called the most in our
He wanted to vie for that number one listener spot.
Yes, and so I suggested he listen more, and he said, if I break 100,000 minutes, may I have Brad? And I said, sure, because that's like days, and this was at the beginning, this was December 1st, and he would basically have to not ever not be listening to the show throughout December to achieve this. So...
Now, Tim, I saw this wager, and at first I laughed, and then I saw that it was official. I don't know why you wrote up a contract. He did not ask for one, but you did, and you both signed it. I got a little nervous for a number of reasons, but I am now... Then I forgot about it. Then I completely forgot about it, and I am now realizing, here we are, as we record this, I don't know what the date is, and I don't know where my watch went. Where's Brad?
Garrett, on Friday, December 31st at 11:46 p.m., 14 minutes before the new year, I received a message, photo, evidence, 100,001 minutes. Listen to the show for 2021 for Cam Hubbard. Now, I didn't do the math because I don't care, because I lost Brad, Garrett. I gambled Brad's very existence, or life, or future, I don't know what, but Brad...
It's his Brad to do with what he chooses.
Now, yeah, it is. Brad now belongs to Cam Hubbard, and he tried to reassure me. He said that he has a few family members named Gino, so the adjustment should go well. He's gone, Garrett.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, / you're welcome. I mean, this isn't the first time we've lost Brad.
No, it's a real tornado of feelings. And to be fair, what was the gentleman's name? Cam?
Cam Hubbard.
I don't know if he knows entirely what he's got.
Oh, yeah, he's got a burden.
He's got, I was going to say a liability, for sure. Was he muzzled when you dropped him off, or?
No, I mean, he was in his carrier thing.
Okay. Wow. This is going to sound weird, Tim. I'm not so much upset that Brad's gone, but I feel bad for the little guy if he doesn't understand what's happening.
Oh, I think he understands. He's been lost before.
Sure, but he hasn't been wagered. Not to his knowledge, because we didn't lose.
Yeah, that's fair.
God, 100,000. You know what? I can't even be mad. Congratulations. Number one listener, Cam Hubbard, the hub.
Yeah. Anyway, so the new record is 100,001 minutes. If you would like another of our interns, beat that next year.
Yeah, 48 of them to go.
Yeah.
And honestly, he got the lemon. I
true.
fully anticipate we will get bad. Ooh, Tim, new wager. What month do you think Brad will be back?
March. I think he makes it to March.
Yep. Well, okay, I'm going to go under then. I'm going to say he does not make it to March. I'm going to call it February 28th.
Okay. Cam, we have a loading dock behind our building. Just leave him in his carrier.
Yeah. He'll find his bed.
He'll know what it means. Garrett, did you copy down any of our listener mail, and would you like to read some of it here in this place where we have set aside some time for mail from our listeners?
I hate you. Stop talking. I know what you're doing. The segment's called Mail.
Yes.
I'm the one that gets the mail. You don't get the mail.
I mean,
you got the Instagram.
I get some mail.
Shut up.
Okay.
Shut up. Shut up. I'm so angry now. My email is from Nicole. Nicole's titled her email, Harajuku Girl Update.
What?
Fantastic.
Interesting.
Yep.
Go on.
Nicole writes, Hello, Garrett and Tim. I wanted to share an update with you around Gwen Stefani's Harajuku Girls. I was in Las Vegas a few weeks back and attended Miss Stefani's residency. And pause. Nicole. Tim, I think, Tim, you were aware of Nicole's fandom of Miss Stefani. I had no idea. We've got a real Stefani expert, a lobster martini asshole boatfish expert on our hands. I'm curious, please. Yeah, Nicole, write in. Let us know. How did you feel about our assessment of Miss Stefani's solo works? Oh,
we should really do the No Doubt album. We should have a No Doubt month, Garrett, because we're going to do No Doubts, or Petra's No Doubt. We should do No Doubt's Tragic Kingdom, too.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, we should, though. Or more Gwen Stefani solo work.
Yeah, you just want to watch those music videos.
Shit is bananas. Anyway, I went in assuming the Harajuku Girls would not be present because they haven't been seen in ages. To my surprise, Gwen had Harajuku Girls, but they were not the same girls she originally had. Well, of course not. Of course not. They died in their cages years ago. What happened to the original Harajuku Girls? Did she sell them to Rivers? Are they currently living in jars in his basement? Do we need to form a team to go and rescue them? Who knows? But I do know that Gwen has apparently upgraded from the original girls. What does that mean? Upgraded?
Well, it seems like a judgment on the previous Harajuku Girls.
Or the new ones. Maybe the new ones just brought it.
Oh, fair. Sometimes they just bring it.
Nicole, write in. What makes them better? Be detailed. Finally, she says, hopefully they don't end up the same way as the original girls did. Love the show and thanks for sharing my tattoo pic. She says, I could absolutely see Tim with Gwen's signature on him. Love, Nicole.
Oh, maybe I'll get Gwen Stefani's name on me instead of Garrett.
Yeah, so, Nicole, couple other follow-up questions. Probably won't read your answers on the episode, but I am legitimately curious. Does this mean you met Miss Stefani and had her sign your arm?
Oh, yeah,
presumably.
she has a picture of it.
Oh, yeah, I shared the picture of the tattoo, but I guess I'm only just now realizing you met your I've met famous people, but they're never famous people I geek out about. So
Name
I'm curious
6
what
famous people you know.
No, I said met.
Name 6 famous people you've met.
All right, Kevin Spacey.
Oh, God.
Not a great start. Not a great start.
Let's stop right there.
I feel like he should have been 6.
You told me a story before about how you once knew Kevin Spacey's daughter and how she once painted your face.
No, it was not her. Her last name was not Spacey. God.
Stacey Spacey.
Stacey Spacey and the Case of the Painted Face. Oh, man.
Let's write a children's book.
I don't think so, Tim. Your story involves...
Yeah, it does. Kevin Spacey. More than you'd like it to.
Wow. Great email, Nicole. Tim, we need to check your meds. You are off kilter today. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's like trying to record a podcast while simultaneously taping an episode of Pee-wee's Playhouse, but it is distracting. That brings us to music news of the weird. I don't know why I'm going to ask, but I will. Tim, do you want to go first or should I?
Well, of course I would like to go first, friend. Is that okay with you?
It's fine.
Music news of the weird.
our good buddy K-Way has a new house. And it is right across the street from Kimothy Kardashian. Now, after shamelessly begging her publicly not to divorce him, threatening her with the wrath of God, and directly attempting to invoke God's wrath against Kimothy and also Peter Davidson, K-Way has decided that if he stood across the street and just stared at her all day, he might get arrested for stalking. So his workaround is that he bought the house across the street so he can stand there across the street and just stare at her all day, all nice and legal-like. Now,
Mr. West, Mr. West, can you just go inside? You're making the whole family uncomfortable.
Right.
I'm a genius. Yeah, I know, but listen, that's great. You're a genius. We all really love the early work. Less so lately, but you're scaring Kim.
Yeah. Presumably, Garrett, the house was up for sale in the first place because the owner either thought they could get $4.5 million from a crazy person, or because they feared that K-Way would be using their house as some sort of staging ground.
Stakeout?
Yeah, either way, so maybe just let him take it. He said, "This morning I felt so blessed to wake up, to work out, and to be able to drive to my house and see my wife and kids." That's right, I said my wife and my children, and I want everyone to pray for my family.
Oh my God.
Terrifying. E-News, do more than just report this. Report it to the police.
Yeah, it doesn't seem good, right? You know what really pissed me off in that story is everywhere I read about this, they described it as a $4.5 million fixer-upper. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fixer-upper.
Yeah, we live in squalor.
We didn't used to. This is a fairly new place, Tim. Like, we spent a lot of money on this place.
Well, I wanted you to feel at home, so I...
Oh, well, if by at home you mean you ruined it, then I do. I feel very at home.
Garrett, your first news story.
Well, Tim, I wanted to begin with a fun one. As the year ended, as we do our year-in review, several music publications tend to do their worst of 2021. So I went through and I combed all the various news sources, your Rolling Stones, your Pitchforks, your Paste magazine, to put together my own list of those which I saw occurring the most number of times across these lists. And I gathered just a few, not a big one, but I thought I'd run through a few of the fun ones with you to see how we're doing, given that we're trying to put together a dossier of some of the worst music we can find. Let's see how we do against the pros. First song up, Aaron Lewis, Am I the Only One? This is on every list.
Yeah.
Next, Van Morrison. I don't even feel comfortable reading this title. Quote, They Own the Media.
Interesting. Now there is a song we should do. I assume the they is the Jews.
I will assume so. We'll assume it
Or
until
possibly,
he proves otherwise.
Possibly lizard people.
Ooh, both of them are
lizard
not
Jews.
Okay. Now, the next one is...
They're culturally Jewish, you see.
Right.
They don't practice.
That's clear. Just the high holidays. We might have to edit a lot of this. The next one was Kid Rock, Don't Tell Me How to Live.
Oh, yeah. We've had a lot of
theme.
requests for that.
The next one was Drake featuring Lil Baby, Girls Like Girls. Basically, this song seems to be about how Drake has a stable of gay women that are also into having threesomes with him.
Interesting. I mean, that's smart. Now, Garrett, I remember I asked you what you would do if you had $1 billion. I noticed you left out stable of prostitutes.
You forgot to you left out the age-old classic response. 2 chicks at the same time.
Possibly some sort of Taken thing.
Ooh, interesting. I want to bid on some women with a shake.
Oh, no. I meant Rampage Through Europe.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The Liam Neeson role.
Yes, they know what they did.
We'll say human traffickers.
Yeah, we'll say that.
You're going to grant someone their last wish, aren't you? Next on the list, Tim, here's a song that I think was made for us. Kanye West featuring Marilyn Manson and DaBaby, Jail Part 2. Is it a prequel?
Why would it be a prequel?
Because I think at least 2 of those 3 men are going to jail in the future.
Oh, well, it's Part 2, so it's probably a sequel, though, you see.
A sequel to the prequel, like Episode 2.
Yes. Okay, I'm confused.
Phantom Menace. I kind of want to hear it. You got Kanye West, you've got soon-to-be indicted Marilyn Manson, and everybody's least favorite human being in the world, DaBaby.
Yeah,
might be too much.
We should at least listen to it. It might be good.
It might be. And then the last song on my list, Tim, is I don't even know who this is. Brantley Gilbert featuring That's not a name.
Is it? So
Hi,
here's
I'm
the thing,
Brantley.
because that can go one of two ways. Brantley Gilbert can either be like Kentucky country star, or it can be
royalty.
extremely fancy country club guy.
Brantley Gilbert.
Yeah.
No, you're horribly inbred. So, Brantley Gilbert featuring Toby Keith and Hardy, like Madonna, I guess.
What?
The
Sorry.
song is called The Worst Country Song of All Time. The whole song is sung with a wink and a nod as though it were opposite day. So you get lyrics like, trucks are just a waste of gas. I want that good gas mileage out of getting a Prius. Stuff like that.
Oh, well, maybe they could, maybe they've found out about the diesel Prius idea.
Oh, maybe. Runs on wheels.
Yes, entire whales. Grind up the whole thing. Just jam it in there.
Don't ask me how it works. Just runs on whales. What other news do you have for us, Timmy?
Well, Garrett, in a move seemed designed to tell Lil Nas X to go fuck himself for trying to be a rap and country star simultaneously, Morgan Wallen, shitbag extraordinaire, is now the #1 selling hip-hop artist in the country. According to Variety, Morgie collaborated with Lil Durk on a track that is now #1 on the Billboard R&B/hip-hop chart, leaving Lil Nas X to wonder if he was rejected from the country community because he was too black or too gay.
I definitely think it was too black.
Oh.
It sure seemed that way at the time.
It did, yes.
It's pretty fucked up, man.
Now Morgie has said that he would like to collabo with Kendrick Lamar, and given how insanely successful that would be, it will probably end up happening because there are no depths to which 2022 cannot sink after a 2021 in which nothing went wrong.
Yeah, you were pitching the other day that we make sure it's called 2020 Flawless, and people would just know that meant 2021. I maintain terrible name.
It is
Terrible
confusing.
worst. I had to write it out for you first.
Yeah.
There's no one. If you don't see the one, how do you know? 2020 Flawless is, sounds like you're saying 2020 was flawless.
Listen, I admit it was a flawed idea. Garrett, what other news do you have for us?
My next news story, Tim, is about rapper Kodak Black. Do you know Kodak Black?
It's a bear, right? Is this the bear that raps? Or is he
close.
the sentient chewing tobacco that raps?
It's the first one.
Okay.
But this guy, I don't know if it's the same gentleman that you're talking about. Kodak Black was arrested on trespassing charges this past Saturday in South Florida. The Broward Sheriff's Office said Black was taken into custody in his hometown of Pompano Beach early Saturday morning. Now, I did a little bit of digging, Tim, to see if this was Kodak's first offense. And turns out Black had a 3-year federal prison sentence for falsifying documents used to buy weapons at a Miami gun store.
Okay.
That was... Well, don't worry, Tim, because he only had to serve about half of that sentence because President Donald Trump, on his last day of office, commuted it. What?
So
anyway.
he is innocent now of that charge. Or is he just...
No.
Oh, no. He just
he
doesn't
didn't.
have to be in jail. Okay.
Yeah, he just commuted the sentence.
Gotcha.
But if that weren't enough, Mr. Black was then later sentenced to probation last April for assaulting a teenage girl in a South Carolina hotel room. Black was, of course, originally charged with rape, as you would, but he accepted a plea deal and pled guilty to first-degree assault. Tim, what the actual fuck?
Apparently, one of the benefits of being either rich or famous is you can just commit crimes.
Like horrible crimes.
Yeah. Or have evidence that you're about to commit horrible crimes, like all that forged documents for those guns.
Because at the end of the day, you can do something that will convince the president to commute your sentence. A man who probably has no idea who you are.
What do you think he did for him?
China.
What? No.
China.
Okay.
China. Anyway, Tim, what other news you got for us?
In Sir Edward Christopher Sheeran MBE news this week,
Oh, God.
Shishi decided to announce... Sorry,
Ugh.
Ed.
Thank you.
He did an interview in which he said specifically he blames South Park for ruining his life. That Ginger episode. Now, Ed Sheeran is, of course, worth approximately $200 million and is getting close to having a pig's face sewn onto his face. But apparently, before that episode aired, people in Britain made fun of him for being a ginger, but nobody in the U.S. even knew what that was. They were nice, they liked his hair color, and they would often compliment him on his hair color, and he would like to return to this because since that episode, Americans also believe him to be cursed. He said, that episode of South Park fucking ruined my life. I was going to America and everyone was like, I love your hair, dude. And I was like, oh my God, people like my hair? And then, it was just all over for the rest of my life.
Tim, I'm sure you know what I'm going to say, but Ed, good news, friend. It ain't the fucking hair.
No.
It's the fact that you look like an anthropomorphic sack of wet laundry.
Now,
okay?
How does this factor in? Because I read some other news. This is not news. This is from August. This is both Ed Sheeran and penis news. I know you like penis news. Ed says he can no longer use urinals because people keep trying to look at his famous penis. Now, he's famous. His penis is, well, it's getting famous because everyone's trying to look at it. And does that factor in at all?
That seems like an invitation to look at his penis.
So you're saying that he's getting that message out there so that he can then go to a urinal and people will be like, well, I wonder why everyone's so into it. I'm going to check out this peacock cock.
Correct. Well put. Yeah, because I would wager most men in a bathroom first don't recognize that it's Ed Sheeran. They think it's some sort of shoe salesman or something.
Yeah, or somebody like a mop that was just
or like like a leprechaun that was like cast out of the Shire and then like grew into adulthood, but like freakishly, not of either world.
He was cast out for growing too large.
Yes, considered a freak, and so
okay,
cast out. Anyway, nobody's thinking about your penis at all.
Is it possible that he is trying to get out the idea that men are checking out his penis as if they are impressed by it, so that the ladies will think he has an impressive penis?
All of this, Tim, is definitely rooted in trying to convince other people he has an impressive, or as you would put it, a beautiful penis.
I wouldn't put it that way.
I've heard you say that. I've heard you say that.
I've used those words together.
Yep, that's what that means. Then I don't know. What are we debating? Listeners, write in. I can't say, nor is it my place to. If you're attracted to men, write in hatepodmail@gmail.com. Is there any hog on the planet that makes Ed Sheeran remotely attractive? If he's not, a multi-millionaire.
Even if there is, he's still...
Yeah, you know what? You're right. He's a multi-millionaire. He's got his own spaceship. He's, friends with a cartoon duck. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he looks like a pound of ground pork.
It's never
he
not
looks
funny.
like a flesh-colored version of that. Oh, yeah. Tim, did you ever see the early Harry Potters? The hat that tells you what school you're in or whatever? He looks like a flesh-colored version of that with a tuft of red hair on top. It's just rumpled, and it's unclear what orifices are which. It's just all smushed together like a flesh Shar-Pei.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Beautiful penis, though. Do you have any other news, Garrett? Any other penis
One more quick
news?
one. No penis news, but very quickly, my last story, Tim, is about friend of the show, Justin Bieber. His song, Peaches, has broken a record at the Grammys. And I think this record, Tim, is very telling of the direction of music. That record is the most number of contributing songwriters to a song nominated for Song of the Year.
Jesus.
With 11.
Ooh.
Now,
for a song about peaches.
Yeah, he gets his peaches down in Georgia. Oh yeah, shit. But that's not the point. You must be wondering, 11 writers, what was the old record? Well, in 2021, Beyonce's Black Parade became the first nominee to be written by 9 songwriters, taking over from Bruno Mars's That's What I Like, which had been co-written by 8 people and nominated in 2018. Before that, Destiny's Child's 2000 hit, Say My Name, held the record for most songwriters involved in a single Song of the Year nominee with a simple 7. We've almost doubled it, team. Just goes to show you, everything is by committee these days, and the end result is watered down pablum.
Yep.
Alrighty, Tim, that brings us to my favorite part of the show, not just because it's near the end, but because it lets us know what album will we be listening to before we come back here and talk about it.
We are going to be listening to the oft-requested AJR's, whatever that is, The Click.
I don't know what any of the things you just said are.
I don't know either, Garrett. I don't know what this is going to be. I've heard it's pop-hop. Is that a thing? Pop-pop?
Just, I think it's straight pop. Oh, interesting. It's gonna be May. Something like that, maybe?
Yeah,
I don't know.
People seem to think we're really going to hate it, so.
I've never heard of it. AJR, you say?
Azure.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Well, I can't really make any predictions because I don't know what the fuck it is. Chances are we hate it, though. Most of you listeners do pick some of the worst shit on the planet.
Yeah, it's like you're trying.
Cool. That brings us to the end of the show. As always, if you can, go to heypod.com, click on Contact Us in the upper left-hand corner, and we want to hear from you. It does ask for an email. It's just so we can reply, or you can email us directly at heypodmail@gmail.com. I am currently working on building a new website that does not require me to update it every single week, but will actually just update when the episode publishes. So it's a little out of date right now. That's because I'm building a new one, and I'm not very good at building websites. Anyhoozle, you can find us a whole shit ton of ways. You can find us on Instagram. That's HatePod. You can find us on Twitter. That's Album HatePod. If you want to just talk to Garrett and leave Tim out of the whole goddamn thing, that's G Harvey Tweets on Twitter. And goddamn it, I want to hear from you. You can also reach out to us where we got subreddits. We've got a Discord server. If you want to join that and you don't know how, let us know. We'll put you in touch with the person that can get you connected. I don't know how it works, but we're on there. That's about it. We're not on TikTok. We're just too goddamn old for it. Sorry. I think that's about it. Tim, did I leave anything out?
OnlyFans.
Nope, didn't leave that out because it's not a thing. Shouldn't be better not be we're going to talk. All right, for Why I Hate This Album, I have been one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey.
I have been the other host, Timothy P. Richardson, and on July 24th, 2016, Garrett P. Harvey said, "No one's designing chairs for 6-foot spiders."
I do believe I said that with a lot more outrage at the time.
Is designing chairs for 6-foot spiders.
Yes, because you were proposing that we make chairs for 6-foot spiders.
No one is designing chairs for 6-foot spiders.
Right. I hate you.
There's cowboys running through my dreams. Nothing's quite the way it seems. I joined the Navy, got kicked out in a week. My facial features aren't distinct. Try to find some meaning in these songs. The genius is a genius, got it wrong. No, it's a lobster murder sex thing. It's the bleaching of the rear. A full assault on both your ears. The riffs are too repetitive. The lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides. The cover art's a mess. Listen to it for a week. Now that week has passed. It's the Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
I strangled them all, of course.